Welcome to your SGA podcast.
Hi, my name's Kylie. I'm your president this year.
Hey everyone, I'm Aiden. I get called Adon or Add-on, but it's Aiden. I'm your vice president for this semester.
Hey guys, my name's Forrest and I'm your SAC representative for the semester. So, today is just going to be kind of like a quick sort of introduction of all of us and kind of what the heck SGA actually is and what we can do, for our students here on campus. So, yeah, I guess, did y'all want to kind of go through what your roles are in SGA?
Yes. I am re-pulling up the PDF because I had to switch devices.
Yeah, it's good to have a bit of a reference because there's actually like a surprising amount of stuff.
Really is.
Alright, so my role as president is basically the I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. Trust me, there's really no sort of bar set at all. Like we can kind of do whatever this.
Okay, well then I'm not gonna look at that, I'm just gonna talk.
Yeah, just what do you feel
Alright.
your role is?
My role as president is external affairs. So basically, my job is to reach out to students and faculty and see what your issues and concerns are, how student government can help. And we also help out other student organizations as well with funding. And so my job would be to kind of coordinate that as well.
Yeah, so basically you're kind of like the face of the operation in some sense, right?
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. And how about you, Aiden?
Yeah, well everyone, pretty much I do the internal operations. So Kylie and I, we work on our social media, so Instagram, Facebook, you should check those out. Besides that, just internal communications. Instead of being the face of the brand, I'm the internal face.
Yeah, he basically like makes our lives a heck of a lot easier. I feel like,
Try
like,
to.
yeah. It was just, getting. Especially, I'm really grateful that you're technically savvy because like that's one of the things that, like, it's definitely really nice to have you on board. And so I am your SAC representative. And SAC basically stands for Student State Advisory Council, which I know doesn't really clear things up. But basically, I'm the representative for this particular campus, the Larimer campus, and I go and speak with other representatives from other campuses, not just in Front Range, but like all the community colleges in Colorado. And we all sit down and basically have our own separate, I guess you could think of it as like an SGA as well, where we kind of work on different initiatives for the year, and usually like big things, right? And a big part of that is that we also kind of advise both the Colorado community college system and even state and federal government about specific things and like put our 2 cents in. So yeah, that's pretty much kind of what I do. And of course, like I want to hear from you guys about like what you want to see done, not just campus wide, but like college system wide. So Kylie's going to be the one for like, the campus specific stuff, and I'm going to be the one for like, the other stuff that's like outside of our campus. But yeah, that's pretty much about it for that. There's some exciting stuff that we are working on, but I guess we should kind of go into what SGA actually is. Like, I feel like we all know what SGA is, right? But like, I feel like we just don't necessarily know like what we can do. Like that's one of the things that I don't know. What do y'all think about it?
So I think really our biggest role is acting as a bridge between students and faculty and administration. So basically, if you If you have any concerns in policies or anything with the community, either on campus or state level, we're who you come to for those concerns, and we can help you find the right person to go to, or we can help you solve that problem.
Yeah, kind of like help direct people, get them to the right spot, and then also, just with anything on campus, really, right? Let's see. And there's just like a few examples, I guess, we could bring up of things that have been done in the past. I think it's important. So there's like some stuff that we've done for advocating on students' behalf, right? How the college plans on like building specific things, like that's been a thing that we've done. Organizing events, I think that's like the biggest thing, right? Like, and I definitely want to get to organizing some events when all this stuff blows over. I don't know about you guys, but yeah, I'm excited to get back in person and like maybe throw like a pizza party. Who knows? And just like a few other things, like in the past SGAs have like planted trees on campus, which I know Kylie you thought was like super cool, right? Yeah.
There's also there used to be a requirement for 3 semesters of math if you didn't have the prereq for math. And that was an issue for lots of students because most of us aren't here for more than 3 or 4 semesters. So being in math like the whole time you're here was kind of a drag. So student government went to legislation with that, or was it SAC that did that?
So I guess like SAC and every campus's SGA, they kind of work in tandem, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like you get stuff from my advisor on SAC,
right?
That that then you relay to like the students. So like for instance, Stacy, my advisor, sent all the information about the student leadership conference, so that we can kind of get that information out to everybody. So we kind of both work together, and I mean, like I tell you about everything that I'm working on, and vice versa. So, but yeah, those specific things, since that's like that's a change to basically like the whole curriculum, like the requirements for math, right? So that's going to be something that we need to change on that higher up level, just because that doesn't just affect like our local campus, it affects like every Colorado community college campus in a sense. And I think for the better, because like who wants to take that much math? Like that sounds, I don't know, being like a liberal arts major, like that sounds like choice words that I don't want to say on a podcast. Yeah, so like I guess the one thing that I want to stress is that like you can kind of come to any one of us with any specific thing, and we'll kind of get you to the right spot. Like I think that that's important to note. Like we're just all here to kind of help out our students. We are students as well, so like just help out like our fellow constituents basically. Yeah, and then there was a few other things too. So yeah, just like helping people out with supportive resources as well. I think that one thing especially is that like SGA kind of helped start the food bank. Like we don't run the food bank by any means, but it kind of gave them a home in a sense before they kind of moved to their own separate little spot. And I think that's super important, especially nowadays, just with all the, we want to make sure that people are able to eat. Like, I mean, who wouldn't want that, right? So I think that that's a big thing. And then another thing with that is student organizations. Like, we want to work closely with student organizations to like start up events again and do all sorts of fun things, whether that's like some sort of incentives, etc., etc. Like we're more than happy to work with any student organization and see what we can do for them. I think that's really exciting. So yeah, it's another little thing on there too. And I guess we already kind of talked about SAC stuff. I don't want to feel like I'm going on forever. with this. But I guess just one other thing with SSAC, is like, basically, I want to hear from people. Like that's the big thing. I think we all want that, right? Like, we all want to like make sure that we're doing a good job of representing the people when we make decisions to hopefully change things. Like, I think that that's super important, because we don't want to, make a decision that not everybody's gonna like. Like for instance, we're kind of curious about what's gonna happen with the cafeteria, and we want to like make sure that it's gonna be whatever is going to replace the cafeteria. I guess I should say that the cafeteria is going to be getting switched up soon. But like we want to make sure that it's fulfilling the needs of the students, and we try to take all different types of students into account, whether you're, someone who's just out of high school, or like someone who's like a single mom who, maybe takes night classes, something like that. We want to like account for all of you as best as we possibly can. And yeah, basically just the gist with SAC stuff is that it's just like system stuff. Some of it's kind of like the more boring sort of e-wolf navigate stuff, like changing terminology and all that. Like that's what we were doing recently. But then some of it's really exciting things. Like we're working on a brand new course it's not even, I shouldn't say it's a course, but it's like a resource, like a D2L page that anybody can access to like have some resources for mental health stuff, which I think is super important. That's like a big thing where like every Colorado community college can access that. And yeah, just like changing fees and stuff like that too, stuff that you wouldn't think is super important. Like, we can control like quite a lot of money. Like I'm kind of scared at how much money sometimes we can control. Is like, I don't know. But yeah, that's pretty much about it.
Yeah, and I guess I'll branch off of what Forrest said. We want you to use your voice. That's what we're here for. So we have many platforms for that, right? If we go back on campus, you can talk to one of us. We have our Instagram, just shoot us a message, or leave us a comment. Facebook, we're revitalizing that. Pretty much your preferred platform, we're vowing to be on that platform. And yeah, make your voice heard. That's what we're here for. We know you have busy lives. You made the commitment to attend college already, so why not let us help you? It's our job to do that. Yeah, that's all I have for my little piece, though.
I would add that we're making this because we haven't heard from students, and we're not really sure where you guys are with online courses and going back to campus, and just how you're feeling about school and education in general. And we'd really like to hear about it, and we'd really love you to reach out.
Yeah, absolutely. Hearing from people just like about whatever is like I love to do that. Like it really is nice to like hear somebody's unique perspective on anything. And I think one other thing that maybe I would add on is that we're welcome to receiving more people into what's called officer roles for student government too. So like we're all technically in our officer roles, but there's a few more like marketing and also secretary, and then a few other positions as well that are kind of just more like, I guess you could think of it as like representatives of the student body, right? So we're more than happy to have you on. And then also, there's one other thing with that. Just like a few notable events that I'm excited about. We have our student engagement fair that'll be coming up on the 10th. And then we also have our student leadership fair, which I believe, I'm not 100% sure when that actually is coming out now. I should have checked that beforehand. I believe it is next week.
Boris, the deadline for signing up for the Student Leadership Conference is coming up, right? On the 5th?
Yes, it is. Yes, that is correct. It's coming up on the 5th. We have this really cool keynote speaker as well. That's the time slot that I signed up for. He just seems like a super cool dude. He's like really driven. He's like a politician, and he's like only 22 years old. Yeah, very cool. And also, there's just going to be like a lot of great chats. You'll get to meet people from all across the state, which I think is awesome too. A lot of people who are, professionals and can, especially if you're going into a leadership role, I think it may be an important, experience. So, yeah. I think that we're at about time now. I think we got about almost 15 minutes in. So, good job, guys.
Woo!
First podcast. Woo!
Woo! It'll be less awkward next time.
It's all right. No, the energy was absolutely electrifying this whole entire time.
Yeah.
I just gotta say, like, I'm excited for when we can get back in person to do these podcasts and have some other guests on, maybe, like we were talking about, professors and stuff too. Yeah, that'd be fun. I'm really hyped for that. So, but thank you guys for making the time to listen to us, and appreciate you. And y'all have a good rest of your day.
Thank you. Go Wolves.
Go Wolves.